Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. TIFU, I branded myself as the biggest perv. And I deserve it. This happened an hour ago, and I'm still shaking in fear about how my life will now become from now on. There's two situations that lead to the conclusion of the FU. First situation. Asked my sister-in-law to borrow her 360 pocket camera for a trip. My wife and I are soon vacationing. Found out the memory card still had content. Her husband travels a lot, and she made a 1-hour POV-style 360 porn video, assuming sent to him a while back. I've had the hots for her for the past 8+ years. Before she got married and there were several times sexual tensions arose between the two of us. Living together for a year as strictly roommates, movies, dinners, getting drunk while watching movies just the two of us, breakfasts, etc. A certain trust, or test, was implemented and nothing ever happened between the two of us, as at the time I was dating my now wife who was working at a distance. But damn it, at the time, if she just had touched my hand once back then, I think I would have lived a whole different life. So I found this video. I thought I struck gold. I could have what I've always fantasized about, gifting my past self, while living my happy current life. Second accident. I have an automated house that lights up the house with geolocation. Before the app worked with Apple HomeKit, a third-party app needed to be downloaded which tracks your family and friends. Free version only allows you to add one person, so my wife and I have had this app for 3 years now, even if it's useless now after an app update a couple years back on the original app. We never deleted it since it was so useful for tracking each other using notifications. I get a notification when she's at work and when I arrive at work. We also both get notifications when one arrives home. Good for times where she does groceries, for example, and I get a notification to prompt me to go out and help her out. Or when I work late and finally leave the office, prompting her to set up the dining table. Last night she fell asleep without charging her phone. I hate when she does that. Today she goes to work with barely any battery. What if she needs to call the police or hospital for an emergency? I have the day off today. Today was the day I do the deed. I don't only go with simple 360 video, but literally set it up on my VR headset in bed with AirPods on. The whole experience. This would have lasted me a tops 5 minutes. But the foreplay she does is long and boring. Then the action starts and I go on. Wife's phone didn't give a notification as she arrived, because of her now dead phone. She comes to the bedroom to see me masturbating in bed with VR goggles on. She knows I masturbate occasionally but never saw me do it. I sneak it in here and there. But VR porn was never discussed as an is it cheating if thing. You know the convo I'm talking about. Is it cheating if you have a sex doll? Is it cheating if it's a robot? Is it cheating if you put a pleasure toy on and someone from across the internet strokes you in real time, etc.? It was the type of convo we'd have at the very start of our relationship when we were still friends 10 years ago, to see how far one could take it. Weird, I know. But let's say it was one of these pre-game convos to see if we're on the same page before things started getting serious. Pre-game convos were not only about sex, by the way. Anyways, VR wasn't a thing back then, so was never discussed. So I never knew if it was right or wrong for me to do so. I guess it was wrong since she rushed in and ripped the goggles from my face. That's when I see her in the room. "The duck," she says. Then she looks inside. "Is that my sister?" I'm ducked. She still had her shoes on from arriving. So she just grabbed her bag with the VR headset and left the house. Seeing from the tracking app, she's at her parents' house, which are neighbors of the sister-in-law. I'm ducked. TLDR, masturbated in VR with my sister-in-law's 360 porn video, got caught in the act, now feeling out of body experience and don't know what's going to happen. pretty sure my guy burned the bridge on VR porn ever being okay lol. As a man happily married for 12 years, I will say that once you impose a hard rule on a partner's sexuality and arouse you, setting your relationship up for a rocky road. Savior. That's an outrageously positive outcome for how that started. Good story. Ha 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 ha. Read the update in ops history. Christ, this entire story makes me suicidal. Am I the only one thinking that's exactly how a porn movie starts? All in the living room? Ha ha ha. This is the next level Fresh Prince. Update. So basically this is what happened tonight. Once my wife arrived at her parents' house, that's when I received notification her phone was back on and charging. Some people asked about the app. It's called Life 360, it also gives battery percentage notifications when it runs low or when phone is back on. I was already typing the long story on Reddit when suddenly that notification appeared, which I last minute checked and wrote she was at her parents' house before posting. So basically, after posting, after feeling a bit better by telling someone and having a bit of weight off my shoulders, I was pacing around the apartment while trying to give her calls after calls, but it kept saying her phone was busy. This went on for 45 minutes, or forever. I couldn't focus on the time. All of a sudden the sister-in-law calls. I ignored it. I was way too scared to face this. She called 5 times in a row while I just watched it ringing, then she gave up. Then just a text saying call me. I left the apartment and decided to go watch a movie at the theater. I needed to get distracted, which didn't help as I didn't focus once on Detective Pikachu. I received a call from my wife during the movie, but I ignored. She knows I have an Apple Watch and I receive all notifications, so she knows I was ignoring. She only called once. Sister-in-law 3 more times during the movie. I left the theater and decided to go back home. On the drive back I received notification she arrived home. Now I was petrified. But my out-of-body experience just told me duck it, suck it up. Just get it over with it. Arrived home. Was getting ready for the shitstorm about to happen. That out-of-body experience came back really quickly to reality as I got to the door and then had that fear again. I know she got notification I was back. I get in the house, and both my wife and sister-in-law are in the living room on the couch. I didn't say anything. Wanted one of them to speak first. What if I said sorry, but there was nothing to be sorry about. At this point I was trying to gauge the mood. I'm not for confrontations or leading conversations, I'm very introverted. But I know I should be the first to say sorry. But didn't know how. Wife then says I spoke to my sister-in-law about what happened. She knows. Ducked up in the head of me, out of reflex says knows what? She says don't lie, the video. I was red flushed, I'm sure. My heart was beating so fast. Then the wife said she had deleted the video. This is when I apologized to both of them. So very much. Almost crying. I saw all the Reddit comments about divorce and all, and I was really upset at myself, but deserved it, but not. But yes. But no. Then my sister-in-law speaks. She says you do understand this video wasn't for you. Then she goes on for 10 minutes to tell me what I already know. I was wrong. I kept nodding. But then this drama came out that ducked with me. She said that it wasn't for her husband either. He's been constantly traveling to Bulgaria voluntarily at any chance he could for work, but also through the years he's been having an affair with a colleague there who works at that branch. She knew for a while and let it slide as he was still providing for sister-in-law. But the providing became less and less. The wife knew too about this as she and her sister are so close, but the info was kept within the family to avoid dishonor. This is a big Eastern mentality to have. And it's not the first time family info was kept secret from me. But now they told me because of the circumstance. I was told not to apologize or speak to her husband as he does not know about this video. Sister-in-law is seeing someone else. Her husband and her both live as roommates for now. The divorce word can never go out, but she's found someone long distance and that video was for him. The reason for all the calls was to not mention anything to her husband. Sister-in-law feared that if I did, then this video would have been proof held during divorce process as if she was at fault. It was a very emotional afternoon. I felt like throwing up many times. The focus was more on sister-in-law and her life though, and her shame for having kept her relationship going as long as it has. The guy is barely leaving any money on the side for her anymore, so she's been sleeping more and more at her parents' house. Me obtaining the video didn't come up more than once. I don't know if it was because it was too embarrassing for everyone or what. But it will come up another day for sure. Maybe after everyone has relaxed and tears dried. I'll have an honest conversation with my wife about my wrongdoings and also include if VR porn is fine or not. For tonight, my wife invited my sister-in-law to stay and sleep over. We got some food and drank a few bottles of wine to make us forget a bit, although it felt awkward as a duck. Sister-in-law seemed to be feeling better. She was smiling and laughing and slapping my shoulder or kicking me under the table every time I made a joke. She seemed more open with me now, I was one of the people to know her secret. She could trust and talk to me if she needed to. We will all three sleep in sleeping bags in the living room like camping to keep her company during this tough time for her. Wife seemed okay for now too. TLDR, masturbated in VR with my sister-in-law's 360 porn video, got caught in the act by my wife, now feeling out of body experience and don't know what's going to happen to my life. Okay, so what actually happened? I saw the other thread but I still don't get what happened, other than him trying to do things with his now ex-wife's sister. I read a comment from someone who quoted the whole thing. In short, Up and wife were married for several years. Up borrowed pocket VR camera from wife's sister, for an upcoming vacation, and finds out there's private videos forgotten on it. Videos were very private and of sexual nature, intended for the sister's husband working at distance. In the past before marriage, Up used to live with wife's sister for a year and admitted to having the hots for her, and said his life would be different had the sister made a move on him. Says that both he and his wife using geo-tracking apps to make sure they get to work safely, yada, yada. Wife forgets to charge phone overnight, goes to work with nearly dead battery. Up submits to his lesser instincts, slaps the VR goggles to his face and starts beating it to the wife's sister's video. Wife's phone is dead, geo-tracking app not working, catches him. Rips goggles from his face, looks into goggles, sees her sister and storms out. Nuclear fallout. Up's wife logs into his Reddit, finds throwaway, deletes all personal shit, packs her shit and goes out with style. And now, complete silence. Whether this story is real or not, that's another thing. You missed the second update, before the nuclear fallout one. Up goes to the movies to try and avoid everyone. Comes home to sisters waiting for him. They explain the video was for the sister's lover and not husband, so making sure husband is hush 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 and deleting the videos. They invite the sister to stay and everything seems okay for the night, ending with everyone sleeping in sleeping bags on the living room floor. Up thinks he dodged a bullet. I appreciate the update. I missed the sleepover part. Damn. The wife is cold-blooded. It's awesome. Oh, nice. I saw the update about the wife and sister doing that so he wouldn't see the packed bags, but didn't see the second update. Thanks for the additional intel. Some ducking Black Mirror shit right here. Plus he thinks she tests him instead of saying she's interested. She's just hanging out with someone who she thinks is a friend, while he's been wanting to bang her the entire time. Women don't test men like men think. That's just another justification for men to excuse being sleazy. She secretly wants it. No. Yeah, a lot of people commenting lol Op is ducked and not nearly enough talking about how Op revealed himself to be a huge piece of shit like 5 separate times in this story. Soon to be ex-wife's lawyer is gonna love finding this. Arguably the best part. trying to justify it by expressing how badly he wanted to duck his then GFS sister while she was out of town is a bold move. After all this being bad enough, posting the story on Reddit seems like the final nail in the coffin. Surely they'll discover this somehow and read about how he was willing to cheat on his wife for her sister. That'll really help his case when the family finds this. Damn, that's a heavy ass win. To Op's credit, I think that he and the sister were not committed to a relationship with anyone at that point. I think. Right before that sentence he mentions that he was already in a relationship with his wife, who worked far away sometimes. To me that implies that had his still touched him, he would definitely have cheated. Oh. Yeah, yikes. TIFU I have officially branded myself as the biggest perv. And I 100% deserve it. Phew, what, this is his now ex-wife. Did he not realize, or too dumb to remember we share everything, including the same Reddit app? I logged on to see this throwaway as the default login account. I've removed all of this personal story for my family's protection and changed this account's password. Although it might be too late and already circulated online. I took a look through the comments and was seriously disgusted by most of the responses suggesting to sexually approach both of us last night. Which my sister did mention he tried something in the middle of the night. This guy is incredibly living in another world. I'm only posting this to reassure everyone thinking he got away with it, that these types of scumbags do not. I came home yesterday with my sister to pack my shit. I saw his update saying I seemed alright, but I was keeping it in for the next morning. Reason we slept in the living room is because I didn't want him to see my bags in the corner of the bedroom. He came home suddenly before I finished packing. It wasn't fun camping or a picnic. This morning, before he woke up, we grabbed the rest of my stuff and left. I went to the bank and froze a joint account before he irresponsibly started taking cash out. I'm not seeing him anymore, going to lawyer up, give away all this Reddit gold to the comments that I feel were actually reasonable, and divorce his ass. Oh, and if you can read this, I've deleted the tracking app. Smile, my lawyer will call you to unfreeze your share and take the steps to unlink me from many other tracking apps you might have on me. TLDR, his life is ruined. Congratulations /you /taway12341234911121. This post has been voted by our community as the Duck Up of the Month for June 2019. As a reward, you've been given gold, special flair, and a permanent entry into our master list of best duck ups. That update gave me whiplash. That nigger dead man, I feel sorry for him. I think you blew right past being the biggest perv and just landed yourself with a lifetime's worth of issues. R.I.P., my dude. This whole thing is a glorious dumpster fire and I'm just over here roasting schadenfreude marshmallows. You really go all out for your beat-off sessions. Except for locking the door. That's the thing. It's just so careless. Even if I was in my own home I would lock every external door, go inside a bedroom, lock that door, make sure all the other bedroom doors were locked, just throw off the intruders, lock myself in a closet, and then still not have the sound turned on. Dude, if it was my wife's sister, I would just go to a goddamn hotel or beat it in my car at a far as duck away parking lot then give a BS excuse. Why would Op risk that shit in his own home, madman? At the very least, why the duck would he put both AirPods in? Homie just had to get the surround sound jerk action going. If he had just heard her entering, he could hide the video then say guy was watching porn, I'm so sorry. Then at least she will assume it's a random girl. I think you just wanted to flex on us with those AirPods. It worked. I couldn't even finish the story for how salty I am. I predict that, despite everything, Op's wife will take him back and then catch a glimpse of his 598 Reddit notifications and realize that he posted her nightmare for karma. What's tonight's lottery numbers? Or at least half of them since she isn't taking him back, lol. Just in case Op realizes that posting this story was another duck up. Oh, it was. Of the 14,605 scenarios I have seen, you survive. None. Honestly, it seems like no one's commenting on how fragile it sounds like his marriage already was. That's what I was thinking. Not only do they track each other's every single move, he admits that he'd probably duck her sister if given the chance. If he was trying to end the marriage, he sure chose a ducked-up way to do it. The "I've had the hots for my sister-in-law for 8 years" is a nice touch as well. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.